This is the story of how I borrowed 2 million followers overnight.
As a wee tiny bean, I wanted to become a professional rapper. I believed it so much that I signed everyone's yearbooks with, "Keep this, it'll be worth something one day." While I haven't yet become the next hit sensation,
I figured, why not become a famous influencer in the meantime?
So then my question was, how hard could it actually be to become an influencer? And is there a map that could 100% guarantee my success? Turns out there isn't one, so I made it. Welcome to the Map series. All heroes have a dream and a decision to make. In all of history, the one dream that stands out most of all is the desire to trade an ordinary life for the chance at something special. The hardest decision of all is whether you will stay or go. A few months ago, Sage, an old friend of mine, agreed to support me in one of the greatest risks I've ever taken, the quest to secure my very first brand deal. Step one in the journey of becoming an influencer myself.
Because everyone knows that brand deals equals YouTuber. Duh.
After many emails, we found the perfect brand, Baja Llama. Very soon they would be dropping a new clothing line all across the country in an effort to fight against boring. And they needed a way to promote it. That's where we come in. It was time to call Sean, the person making this possible.
Yo, hello.
Sean, what's going on? So Sean, what does the fight against boring mean?
And it's our motto. We definitely try to inspire people to go far, say yes, and fight against boring. Anytime you have an adventure ahead of you, just go for it. You know, we were a small brand. We can give back and a small creator get to where he wants to, then we're all for it.
Overnight, a pilot dropped off our team on the island of Puerto Rico. Sean, the boss man, Sage, our digital cowboy, Brennan the kid, camera slinger, our beautiful model Bianca, and me, the poet. We had received our mission. We had to move fast. Baja Llama would be launching their new collection in 3 days, which only gave us 48 hours to film everything. As soon as we landed, we went straight to the jungle to begin filming.
Right? Take care of herself. I can see she putting in a work up on her waistline. Say she trying to waste time.
With the sun blazing, it wasn't the only thing heating up. Rushing to get drone footage, I crashed it, which sent it straight to the bottom of a cliff. I had no choice but to rescue it. The only thing keeping me from plummeting to my death was a hammock strap we found in the car. I was terrified.
You guys just out here living that influencer life.
Oh my god, dude. Oh,
I see it, boys!
Hey, show me what you got. Show me what you got.
Stop,
Oh,
baby.
As the trip continued, I began to wonder if the trip was about more than just the brand deal. Along the way, we would meet 3 mysterious people that would help me find the answer to this question. In search of our next location, we picked up a local friend, Todd, who told us about the most luxurious hotel on the island, where he thought we could try to sneak in to film.
We just snuck into the Ritz Carlton. We're about to hit the beach and check out a couple spots to go film.
Just as we thought we were in the clear, we were spotted by a security guard and asked to leave immediately. We tried to tell the officer that we had 2 million followers, but he didn't seem to care.
They're escorting us out.
He called for backup, and all of a sudden there were 5 security officers escorting us off the premises. We had no choice but to abandon ship and think of another plan. Unable to get into the Ritz Carlton, even as an influencer, our next choice was to head into San Juan, which was perfect because Sean wanted us to find some fun strangers to help us model the collection in a creative way. Our response had to be a music video montage. With the sun setting, I was having trouble convincing myself that there was enough time to finish shooting the collection before the deadline was up. Things hadn't been going my way, and I started to wonder if I had made the right decision by betting everything on this trip. Maybe staying in my ordinary world would have been better than losing it all, but in this moment, I knew that if I stopped short of the finish line, I would wonder what could have been for the rest of my life. I had to keep going. With nighttime approaching, we still had to locate a spot to film the final scenes of the collection. With no knowledge of the area and restrictions still in place from the recent pandemic, the only option we had was to rely heavily on someone to show us around. This, my friends, is how I introduce Cole Taylor. Through an earlier chain of events, we somehow came to meet this incredibly interesting character.
And so we just kind of connected and everything kind of just like started going, and now we're here kind of hanging out, and he brought his like whole squad and everything, and so it's looking good.
I then had to ask myself, who are the types of people influencers let themselves be influenced by? When I heard why KT moved to the island, all I knew was that it couldn't be more clear that he was one of these people. It was liberating to hear how he chose to pursue his dreams in the form of a one-way ticket to Puerto Rico. Against all recommendations, he moved here to chase deeper connections and work towards building a business. Things were looking up.
Salud.
In order to finish filming, we were in search of one final location, and KT said he might know somebody anybody that would be willing to help. All that we had to do now was buy KT just enough time to find the owner and make our big ask to let us turn this entire distillery into a giant set for our collection shoot. With time running out, I needed KT's plan to work.
So what just happened?
Man, basically I did what I do best. You know, I made something happen. I figured it out. Now we're about to have a good night. We're gonna sauce up and shot to a little bit, and we're gonna do what we do.
Okay, I promise that normally I record everything. I have my camera with me at all times, but for some reason I didn't expect these events to happen the way that they did, and so I failed to record. So I'm gonna do a quick play-by-play to show you what happened. Let's get into story mode. What the heck? Garrett, the co-owner of the rum distillery, said yes, we would be able to use the entire second floor if we were willing to come back after hours. Normally, noise and capacity wouldn't be an issue, but current pandemic restrictions required all businesses to close at 10, and anyone caught breaking curfew would be detained or worse. If we were arrested and our passports were taken, we would be left stranded there with no way to return home the next night. To add even more pressure, KT's friends had landed earlier that day and were completely exhausted. There was no way that they were going to last another 2 hours and make it back to the distillery with us. Easy, right? They could just take an Uber back home. Wrong. Remember, it's 10 o'clock and Uber was shut down for the night. No matter how much they wanted to, they couldn't even take the simple 15-minute trip to make it back home. The only way that they were sleeping tonight was if I drove them back. Again, just simple, right? Just drive them back home. Wrong again. At all the entrances into San Juan, the town that we were in, there were blockades of police ready to stop anyone from coming in after hours. If that wasn't enough, I go to start the car, I pull out of my parking spot, I look at the gas meter, and it's sitting right on E. As quick as I can, I turn to KT's friends and ask them if they can navigate me towards the closest gas station before everything closes. Finally, with a stroke of luck, there was one 10 minutes away. So, as the influencer that I was, I went Speedy Gonzalez and whipped it on over there. Skrr. Then dropped them off and returned to where the police were waiting for me at the entrance of San Juan. I was so nervous, I didn't know how I was going to convince them to let me back in. Luckily, you boys speak Spanish, and I finessed them, saying that I was an Uber driver coming to pick up these boys and girls, which was funny because Uber had already closed for the night. They just let me go right through. We made it back. To me, life as an influencer wasn't tasting like fame and fortune. Instead, it had brought me new friends in this wild misadventure. On the way to the private showing of our new set, I wondered if I was actually the influencer or if it was really the people around me.
So currently we have managed to stay inside. We're about to go into this private showing.
I give it like 15 seconds.
We live in that influencer life, baby. This is it right here. This is f***ing it right here. You guys want to know? This is f***ing it.
This is the secret life.
So what are we doing tonight?
Breaking the law.
Before we started filming content for the collection, I was curious to ask Garrett what had inspired him to say yes to our request.
Now we gotta keep it in this area because the second somebody hears some noise after, you know, midnight.
He had had no idea that we had a social media following. He said that he didn't take a chance on those things. He took a chance on people. It was as simple as human connection. Throughout the night, Garrett told us stories about back home in Ireland and insisted on showing us what was behind a secret door inside the building. We were in for a big surprise.
What the? You got a boxing ring in this? Yeah, it's a whole boxing gym.
Come here, look.
Every Thursday and Saturday I host boxing out here.
What the? All the things I could have imagined that kid.
So naturally, what do you do when you find a boxing ring in the middle of a rum distillery?
Should I pop the gloves on or do you just want
Put the gloves on.
Yeah, put the gloves on.
No.
Here, hip open.
Oh, this right here is to my little brother. So I f with you, bro.
That's it! Oh! Is that Jake Paul? Hey, what are we doing?
Oh, man, that was a good one. All right, Sean.
I can see you want to do it. No. I can see you want to do it, man.
My ankle's off.
You know what? Hey! That's up. Come on.
Seeing the co-founder of a successful business be able to enjoy life like this was inspiring. And of course, you know we had to go a round or two for the fans.
They're like, oh, I can take it. I was like, it's not like you. But yeah, because they just start slugging because they get out and see what happens. Guys, do me a favor, take it easy.
Brennan! Brennan! Slow it down. Brennan! Slow it down, buddy.
It's about to get even spicier because we're taking you to the center of the dance floor, right here, right now. Check it out.
Dance is sponsored by Baja Llama.
We love dancing so much.
Looking good.
So look, we're trying to look, we're gonna go like this right here.
Okay.
Texas.
Take it on my
but that was a beautiful night.
And just when you think it can't get any better, Garrett proposes the unthinkable.
We're literally sleeping on the floor at his front.
Oh, I got a like a queen blow-up mattress if you guys want it, and a couch. So you guys will just have to lay 1, 2, 3. But,
We're done. Hey,
let's freaking do it.
Better than you guys driving an hour and
he has a salsa dance next.
You have to salsa dance. It's all relying on you don't have to salsa. You don't have to salsa. You gotta dance.
Okay. We'll do it.
How do I do this?
You gotta feel it, man. Are we interlocking fingers? Is that what you do? Yeah.
nice. Nice. Long story short, we needed a place to stay, and my man Gary pulled through. He's the owner of the bar / rum distillery here in Puerto Rico, and we were able to link up with him, and now we're staying at his place. Crazy, right? Sage is on the couch. Brandon's already passed out, and I'm about to cuddle up with him.
Time was officially over. All we had to do now was find out from Sean whether we secured the brand deal or not.
It's morning time.
While we waited for Sean to pick us up, Garrett invited us to have breakfast at his favorite local spot to tell us what he had to sacrifice in order to pursue his dream. The time came when he was forced to choose between his love of over 4 years and his aspirations. To make this happen, he left a job that was bussin' and an ordinary world for the chance to run with stars. It wasn't easy and the business was just now starting to make money, but he did it. And here he sat, a gladiator of sorts. In listening to his story, I realized that the pursuit of your dreams is an inner war I would have to battle daily beyond this trip. But I stopped asking myself if choosing to take this chance was the right answer. I knew now that we were meant to live, not just survive.
As long as you're approaching things with passion, you know, do what you're passionate about, people will be drawn to you, and you'll draw success from that if you're truly passionate about it.
Now I know I'm probably running in overtime, but I really needed to include this last person in this video because the way that they live is a true example of what it means to completely lean into life. Our third and final guide is Sammy, someone who chooses happiness every day. Someone that truly lives life every day making music in a little rundown shed on top of a hill in Puerto Rico. Through his eyes, it only took one moment with him to feel what happiness feels like. No strings, no gimmicks, no sales, just the love he had for music.
Sammy's the best. Sammy's the best.
Hola, Sammy.
There's the one thing right here, all you influencers right here. Sammy is the real influencer.
So in the spirit of all the Sammys out there, you already know what we had to do.
Freestyle? Darling English.
Man's about to spit, dude. Okay, dude, he's been waiting for this entire trip.
Hey, yeah, okay, hey, it said we go so far, we ain't even driving, baby, we just looking at the stars, and I ain't even trying to fret, I ain't even trying to flow, baby, catch me on the street, man, me kiss me no more, I ain't no fish, man, I ain't no animal, baby, you could catch me, you could see me in the standing mall, oh, my salmon, you got me on the street, ain't nobody got me catching feelings, baby, on the beat, yeah. Okay, let's move it out top, yeah. Let's move it to the sky, a little far now. Hey, I got my boys going far now, baby. What you got? You ain't even going hard yet. Oh, okay. I'm passing in the street, man. They pass me in the bay, man. They pass me every way. I ain't even gotta say that the people got the party, man. They put me out in place, yeah. Oh,
This man just became an influencer, baby. Wow!
Influence alive, baby.
In tasting the life of an influencer for 48 hours, I realized that an influencer isn't somebody on YouTube or Instagram. A true influencer is those around us that care and know us best. Family, teachers, old friends, new friends, and that we need to spend more time with them in the real world because we don't know what we don't know, and evermore, we never know where an opportunity might take us.
yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got the brand deal.
You don't like this music, you don't be listening to it, you know.